So today I will be showcasing and testing my winning king deck profile. It was my locals yesterday. Um, it's a relatively casual locals, but there's some pretty competitive decks there. Uh, I was going to play Shanks, but I kind of just realized, I want to have a bit of fun. There wasn't too many of us. Um, So yeah, but this deck's really fun. It's been something I've been testing since before O8 came out. He's the one leader I really want to make work. And anytime they announce a set, I want to get Animal Kingdom Pirates for because he fits my playstyle perfectly of just pure board control. That is exactly what this deck wants to do. I genuinely believe this deck cannot be beaten late game. It is so insane. Like your end boards that you set up, people just can't answer it. And if they fail to answer one piece, they just die, and it's really quite incredible. But you do have some really bad matchups this format, hence why this deck is nowhere to be seen at your local meta or in the meta at all. You get eaten by Shanks, you get eaten by Doffy, you get eaten by Luffy. You just die to basically any competent deck, but you have a fine Teach matchup because you're also a staff control deck. You have a pretty strong Enel matchup actually. Um, and any deck that's sort of roguish, so someone kind of like, maybe Marco, uh, you know, you can sort of finagle it to work. But without further ado, let's get into the profile. Starting with the leader, so he has an active main of Dom -2. If you have 5 or less cards in your hand, you can draw, or you can give something -2 cost. Um, He's basically a vanilla until you hit 10 Don because you really can afford to de-ramp yourself by 2. Even if you were playing like Starter Pudding and Captain Kidd, it's just you just want to hit 10 as soon as possible and drop Kuzan. Uh, but late game, he does constantly draw you cards. That's really nice. You kind of never really struggle too much with cards, which massively helps in my NL matchup that I had. And the -2 just allows your Kaido to reach slightly further, allows your Jack to reach slightly further, and has more niche applications, but sometimes as well you will find that you just kind of end up with a load of cards in hand, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I can kind of just foot the -2 instead of playing like a Suru or Sasaki to get there. But as a whole, he's a 4-life leader, which is his main problem. If he was a 5-life leader, I'm genuinely convinced this leader would be viable. With Big Mom healing, and just the extra card that you could get, like, oh, he'd be so good at 5 life. But next card is Kamazo. This is literally, I'm not even exaggerating, my favorite card in the entire deck. 2k, just, yep, awesome. We already love that. And with Kuzan, he's just popping like 7 cost constantly. He can pop 9 with leader effects. He's really important to the Mega matchup, kind of later game, where you can just kind of control a bit better. He's just a wicked card. People just don't expect like his util. They kind of see it come down. They're like, oh, I didn't play anything 2 or less. I don't care. And then you play Kuzan, and now they're really worried. So if you don't find your Jack on turn 3, you can at least drop a Kamazo. You kind of have to pray his lives a little bit. It's not as tanky as Jack. But this is, once again, with no exaggeration, my favorite card in the deck. And I'm really glad that I now have my 4 winners promos of him. Next is the most important card in the deck for Mega Matchup, and arguably the best card in the deck. Big Mom. So you go -1, you trash 1, you heal 1, and then put a 6 cost at the top and bottom of their life face up. With Kuzan, this removes 11 cost, which is semi-relevant if they have some cost buffs. But the reason this card is so good is because it lets you take a hit or 2 early game. It lets you heal 1, which is effectively just drawing 1, so trashing card in hand doesn't matter. And it just removes tempo, like it's just a huge tempo piece. And also knowing what your opponent has. So in my black purple Luffy matchup, I put a Sanji and a Gekimori at the bottom of their life. And at the end of the day, they couldn't do anything because by the time I was swinging, like I know that they have 2 non-counter coming into their hand. And I inevitably just starved them, knowing that, that's one less Gekimori I have to worry about. And then they just, couldn't really play the game from there. But this card is the unsung hero, not even the unsung hero, it is the sung hero of this deck. 4 of no less. Never play less than 4 of this. Next is Queen, the blocker. This card I have a very contentious relationship with. I want to put it to 3. Even just for an extra like Jet Gatling, extra Ice Age, I'm not too sure. Even just like an extra 2K. This card feels really awkward most of the time and ends up just being a 1K. However, there have been a lot of times where my board's kind of set up, and just being able to drop a blocker is really clean, especially because this is the only blocker in the deck. So I also do want to flat around. There was an SB, there was a JP list that played the 3-cost VV, um, and I thought that was neat. I've also considered playing the 1-cost VV, the one that lets it's a blocker if you've got 10 or more in trash, because it lets you play your 9 drops and still play a blocker. So I do need to test that a bit more. But this card's really kind of awkward, and the reason I don't like this card is because it's not searchable off of Queen, which is I'm gonna get onto this card and my dislike of it. But yeah, worst case, it's 6K. It draws cards, it filters, especially because late game you do not need Onigashima in hand. It's just really neat. Next is my favorite deck. I don't know who in the Discord server came up with this, but 3-cost Jack from Static 4. You can trash a card from hand and ramp it on. Simple. If you go first, you can go to 3 Don, Onigashima, go to 6, play this, go to 7, tap Onigashima, go to 8. So on this, they finish their 6 Don turn, you're now on your 10 Don. It is insane. Yes, you haven't set too much up, but you hit 10 Don. I mean, you can now Big Mom away anything they play, you can kite away anything they play, you can set up Kuzan and reasonably remove most of what they play. It's a really strong play. But you want to go second basically all the time with this deck. I cannot think of a single matchup where you do not want to go second. Because it's just so crucial that you hit your curve. I mean, I suppose like maybe Bello Betty, maybe. I don't really know. I haven't really tested that matchup all too much. But yeah, I'm considering putting it to 4, but it is just a 1K after like turn 2. It is also emergency ramp because I think the strongest play of this deck is turn 3 7 drop Jack. So if you can just play this, go to 5, and then next time you go to 7, at least you've got the Jack. Yeah, not ideal. You don't get to set up the cruise on. You don't get consistent ramp. Because the main thing of Onigashima is that like it doesn't punish you when you play Big Mom. Because if you don't have a stage, you play Big Mom, you have to hit leader effect, and then you're only flipping 9 next turn. So next is Suru, -2, 2K. Yep, easy 4. Yes, you could play Full Sasaki because it's searchable, but this just gives you slightly more reach. It allows Kaido to remove anything. It allows Big Mom to remove 8 cost. And it can just kind of extend Jack a little further. So most of the time, just a 2K, but one of the best utility 2Ks in the game. Next is 3 Kuzan. Now, very strong argument for 4. I play 3 because you set up the 1, you never swing with it, it is never going to die. Unless they have KO, like Shanks, like the red one, or like just an insane cost reduction. This thing is just never going to die if you don't rest it, and it's just a permanent Ice Age to their board, which is fitting because obviously it's Aokiji, but we love this card. It is basically the entire backbone of our deck. Your main combo is you want to go second, you want to go to 4 Don, you want to Onigashima, turn 3 you want to play Jack. And then turn 4, you want to play Kuzan. And then you can remove anything in the game. As you've got a -5, you've got -2 on leader effect, and then Jack pops 3 cost. It is wild. And the thing is that you've ramped there as well, so very few decks will have the immediate answer to it. Boa and any blue deck might have the red rock instantly, which does kind of suck, but realistically, they want to rock Jack most of the time because he's actually a big, stickier body. But yes, very strong argument for 4. There have been a few games where I failed to find this, and I've just really struggled. But, next is Kaido. Now, I have a relatively, I'm going to put in quotations, heavy Blackbeard meta at my locals. There's at least like 3 Teach players. So there's a good chance to get dead against it. And I figured, like, naturally I would say this is a 2 of, and basically nothing more. But I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. And plus, sometimes it's really nice to have the extra body. Against a no, like, I was able to just constantly find this. I can trash the Shirahoshis. Against Teach, like, I could trash the Jesus. Which, does come up sometimes. Obviously, yes, preferably you'd want to save this for the Teach, but you have Jack for that, so it's not really the end of the world. But it's a good card. We don't love it, though. Like, it doesn't give as much value as Mom. But the trash card from hand can come up, especially because we do play a Starve game where we just do not swing at life at all until we set up 5 9Ks and then we just unleash. Next is Search a Queen. This card, frankly, sucks. It doesn't hit your big mom, it doesn't search the queen, and it bomb decks Kuzans. It doesn't search Kamazo. It just sucks. But importantly, it does search Onigashima, and you have to hit Onigashima turn 2. If you do, there is a 90% chance you lose that game on the spot. It is that important to your strategy to hit that ramp. So, yeah, we do play it. It's searchable off of the event as well. So, like, you can maybe get searches. But the reason we do play this is just because it is a 1K as well. Next is 2 Sasaki. So we play 14 2K, the 2 others. This is also for the teach matchup because if you can set this up, when they play Teach, you can then rest it on, play this, leader effect, and remove Teach. Which is really fantastic. The only issue, obviously, is that sometimes they just won't play into it, plus you're pitching a 2K from hand. But if you can set up something scary, so maybe you set up like a jack, and then I'll put this Sasaki there. They want to freeze the jack and set up their teach, and then you can punish. Next, speaking of is jack, could be an easy 4 once again. I think 3's fine. Considering how searchable this card is in the deck, you have 7 searches for it, and you kind of once again you play the 1. And it just survives, it just tanks, and it's kind of not a good card unless you have Kuzan on the board. I know it's an insane thing to say, but 3 cost doesn't hit too much, it doesn't help you in doffy, basically at all. But it is an 11 cost 8K that comes down on turn 3 and can just really punish people who just don't expect it. But yeah, solid argument for 4. But the deck space is so tight already that I kind of just couldn't justify it, especially not when, once again, I play the 1 and then if I'm playing this on a 10-drop turn, I'm pretty miffed, frankly, unless I've already got Kudons out. Next is Husu, searchable 2K. The effect has come up once in a blue moon, so it's just like remove a blocker, but really it is just a 2K. Next is Free Jet Gatling. We play, I think I'm counting about 13 bricks in this deck. That's not counting Russian as well. So we play so many things that we can pitch off of this and ways to put the hand that it just makes sense. And this is we're going to turn One Piece. So this searches Big Mom. This is why we like this card, because it searches it searches the queen, so you can also just do a double search on your turn 1, which is super neat. It also triggers. It's just, honestly, this is probably the best piece of support this deck could have received, and it came out, as I said before. Next is Ice Age. There is a very strong argument for cutting this, but there are times where you do not have Kuzan on board. There are times where it gets removed. There are times where it'll get negated, and just having emergency access to I need to remove a body is quite crucial. And worst case, you set up, a Kuzan, potentially set up 2 Kuzans, and you can just start pitching this with Jack, with Queen Blocker, with Gatling. But I really wouldn't recommend not playing Black Deck without this, purely because once again that emergency access to removal is absolutely crucial. There's a reason why a lot of people want this card banned, because 1 cost -5 is absolutely absurd. It helps you just remove 10 costs really easily. Like, absolute worst case, you can just jack leader effects. And the thing is, once again, you have to remember that you have leader effect. So this is a potential -7. And nothing to like. And the final card of the deck is the support card of the deck. It's Onigashima. So it's just rest it, gain a rested Don. This is your entire combo. And it's why this deck so heavily dies to anything that's very early game focused. Because you do not have an early game. Your turn 2 is just playing stage. It is setting up nothing. You have no way to pressure. And you have no way to control board. But the payoff is so worth it, because knowing that you're going to hit your tendon and playing the Kuzan before they can do anything, before they can react, before they have a chance to set up a body that can remove it, is just massive. Absolutely massive. And that is the profile. Let's get into the games. Our first game is against Bonney. We get to go second, thank God. We find Onigashima, but we kind of have nothing else. But we just want to find Onigashima, so we are going to keep. It genuinely is that simple. We also do have Kuzan, which is super nice. Like, it does with cabbage quite well. We also have, a draw. We have a few draws to find what we're looking for. The amount of non-counter in my hand is a bit concerning, but Reasonably here, they just swing 6. Maybe not even, might even just be 5. They whip the search up. Wow, that's unfortunate. This is also good for us because it gives us something to do. Once again, this is a hard deck. 5 life would recommend poking, just for that initial. Especially against teams you want to poke because you're never going to keep bodies alive. We do get another team deck, which isn't too terrible, but we are just going to crush now. I don't know how big he swings. I might tactically take the next life to see if I can get the jack, but there's cabbage. Yep, absolutely, completely expected. Sadly, it is going to there's not really an awful lot about that. Hits Age of Kid, but thank God we just used that card. Goes 5. Oh. Goes 6. Alright, cool. We'll pitch. We hit Queen, so I think we do. So here we go on to begin with. We are going to go into the bottom just because searching is terrifying. We're going to play the Queen, but we're not going to rack. We're just going to set it up as a nice blocker. Remember, 1-1 effects are optional. You do not have to, take a. Oh my god, I can draw cards. Yes, but then you don't play the last card in the deck. The only issue with Bonney is that you don't swing his Bonney ever. If you ever swing his Bonney, you are just going to die because they then they can knight. So against Bonney, I cannot stress this enough. Never swing. Genuinely, if you can avoid. We also find cards in the game because we obviously draw our leader. So we're going to take this. It is a nice, not ideal. It's Rose and Arce, but we don't particularly care. I suppose we do actually, because now it means that we can't quite hit the cabbage, which we'd rather hit than the carrot. But that is life. I could switch. I kind of want to swing 6 into this just so it gets a card out of hand. So, and I'm not too fussed about a block at this point. I just want to get cards out of hand as fast as possible. There is also a part of me that is thinking Kaido, but obviously to deal with Kid next turn, Kaido's a really good response because it gets over to Rose and Arce. We're going to drop this. We are then going to kill the carrot. We then trigger leader effect, draw 1, get arrested. Not an ideal draw, but once again, it can kind of come up. You really want to find Big Mom, basically. That's kind of like the goal, is to find Big Mom as soon as possible. But the reason you don't want to swing or rest anything ever is because you basically remove all value from their 10 drops and their 9 drops. So you just have a big board, and then inevitably you just swing out. They're going to struggle for cards massively, especially when they keep whiffing these searches. This kind of does suck though, because I am kind of forced to swing into it, but then I lose clues on, so I'm just going to let it exist. Do I count out here? 9 could be just count. We are going to count out. Just because it will force them to swing into it. Next time we are going to Kaido, regardless. Realistically, it should be Captain Kid. But if it's Kid, then he doesn't have the one. He has the one to attach, but he doesn't have leader effect them, which means I'm relatively safe to swing into this Bonney, which is really good for us. Really good for us. Cool. So it is Kid. Pretty good for us. He may not decide to tuck the Don. He decides not to. Interesting. And we draw Jack, which I don't prefer actually because of this little rat here. So we're just gonna Kaido. We're gonna pitch an Ice Age. We're gonna trash the Kid. I could have trashed the cabbage, arguably, just because the Kid's not really doing anything. Yep, pitches. We then draw a card, getting arrested. We are going to search because we need to hit Big Mom relatively soon. We could grab the Queen, just because realistically he's just going to swing 6. We're not going to swing, so that kind of works out. Jack's not terribly useful, just kind of Rosie style. I think we just grab another Kaido. Yeah, I really want this, to be honest, but I just can't. Bonney is quite a difficult matchup. It's a decent matchup because it is also a late game deck, but because they can just because they have really good mid-range bodies, and we're fantastic at dealing with big bodies, it kind of is a bit awkward. But the hope is that they inevitably overextend a little bit, but they'll realistically, if they're a good body player, then they'll need the one dog. You'll also notice I'm not playing ranked. I tried to film this video once already, and it did not go well. We're gonna take this, or we hit bomb. Yes, lovely, exactly what we'll be doing. If they cabbage, we block. But it could just be like carrot or something. But realistically, yeah, cool. Big swing. We're just gonna block, and then we're just gonna mom for the swing into life. And now we're in a really good spot. We can also swing this turn, pretty freely. So we can remove the Bonney. We could arguably swing into this if we want. But yeah, they did overextend, so we have to do is ask, I guess. It's a toughie. But I think, yeah, we just run this way to life, because then we get the card. Like, I kind of like Kaido, because, like, he has some few cards in hand. That just constantly punishing that could be really strong. But also, Mom is just doing a lot for us right now. I want from Kamazo, as fast as possible, really. Yeah, I think we just Mom. We remove it Don. We're gonna pitch a Kaido, but we're gonna game one, and we're gonna put you to the bottom of life. We're gonna trigger King's Effect, we're gonna draw, we're gonna grab Arrested. The second Kuzan's really huge here, actually, not even gonna lie. I could swing 9, because there are now at 6 life, something I do have to consider. So they get one card back to hand, they can potentially KO this, but then that's basically their entire turn devoted to it, and it won't be rested, so you can't protect it with Frozen Latte, so we'll go 9. It's just the Kuzan. Like, we could have swung with it because, yes, we have the backup Kuzan, but backup Kuzan doesn't KO anything. You need a Jack set up on board for that to then take effect. I think our only issue is, oh, okay, Hody Jones is Hody Jones is something. So we probably take a Hody swing. Yeah, we're not drawing a lot of counter, which is a shame. This deck runs a lot of counter. But we've already picked like 42k, so it kind of makes some level of sense. But it realistically is just going to be 7 and 8. He could go 10 to one of my bodies, which is kind of just a waste. Are you an unconditional rest? Wow. Do we just take the life to protect the body? Yes, because we can pressure. No, we're gonna let it go. Because we're just gonna press a new one next turn. So our only issue now is obviously the Rosinante is once again being just a little bit of a pain in the ass. I do need to remove that body at some point. But I really just don't have a clean way of doing it thus far. If I jack, this is the issue, because if I jack, I then can't quite do anything. So I think I just have to Kaido once again, pitch the Ice Age, remove the Odie, get another card out of hand, and just leave it there. So, actually, Ice Age, burn you. Guess carrot, it's a one case, we'll do that. We draw, yeah, so this is now going to start happening. So there's a good chance next time we just end up dropping Queen. The reason you do want to drop Jack is like missing Jack on a 7-drop turn was detrimental because it just means I don't have a way to score this. Next turn I can obviously just, drop it. But because this is going to be rested, you can just protect it with Rosinante. And I don't have like a Kamazo to protect it. If I can draw Kamazo, I can go Kamazo Queen, pop the Rosinante, and then you can just swing into the, I can just swing into this. But yeah, it does need to die, obviously, very strong card. It's maybe 5, that's really interesting. I feel like you just keep a 2k in hand here. You also overextend. Wow, okay, cool. We're going to pitch 2, because we want to leave the blocker for this turn. In the event we draw Kamazo. Okay, I guess that makes sense. That was a weird line of play. I think we might have to leave the kid alive, to be honest, just to remove this fucking Rosinante. Sorry, pardon my language. Unless we can... We'll search, because we could hit Big Mom, which we do. We do lose Kamazo, though. But healing here is pretty good. Plus, we have the Onigashima, that's just a free pitch. So we'll heal the 1, be to the bottom of his life. So that's non-counter right at the bottom of his life. We're getting arrested. We're -2, drawing a card. We finally drew the Kamazo. So we are now in a good spot to next turn actually start removing Rosinantes. Because once again, you have leader effect. which is huge. You could just drop Tendo if you put the head of it, but we're gonna pick the Queen because we're at 4 life now. We're in a really comfortable spot. Cool. It could be another kid, to be fair. No, just leaves 9 up. Wow. Yeah, he has absolutely no value from any of his plays. So we're going to finally set up Jack instead. We're going to draw. Always draw first, because you could just draw into a dud. We are going to rest. We're going to pitch an Aokiji. He has 9 up, and we have an absolutely insane roll presence. So we are just going to pass it over. There's the Shanks. That's completely fine. We kind of expect that. It goes 5 to lead. We are going to pitch. We pretty simply just drop his arm up. We draw a card and pass. So next turn we're now gonna go. Next turn is the turn to just absolutely blitz. Realistically, because they're just in such a weak position after the fact that there's so little they can do. Because they just can't cover. They drew, yep, that's fine. We have no issue with that. Losing the Jack once again does kind of suck, but you know, removing the original is so much better for us. So we are going to immediately just D10, and now we just go, yeah. Because worst case, they draw like 10 to a few, we kind of don't really particularly care. Especially when there's a part of me wants to set a Kamazo, but I kind of know it's pointless. But swinging 9 a bunch is going to be completely fine. If they counter out, it's good cards, so. There is a part of me that does want a Kamazo, just replacing this like Aokiji, because then it's unrested, and it will pop the blocker, and it will help you next turn. Yeah, I think we do. I know it's insane, like losing an Aokiji for a Kamazo, but I cannot stress this enough. Like keeping your ball is much important. I am not going to let turn. I'm going to swing 9 and lead. I'm fine. It will just be because it doesn't make a difference. But we know he's going to get a 1 hit now. Really good at. If he 10, we don't care. So there's the 10 motion. He's once again completely fine. He freezes free, but he has no. He has nothing else. We are going to take this because we might find something useful. We don't really. We find Jack, which is really great because it means we can remove his body at the end of the turn. So we're going to poke 5. We're then going to poke 7. We're then going to poke 9. We then play the Jack. We activate King's Effect, giving you -2. We draw 1. We are going to extract. We're going to extract the Jack, pop, and then we're going to see if we can find another big one, which we do, and that's good. Our next game is against Shanks. We get to a second, which is nice. We have Mum and we have Surge. Reasonably, this could be a keep. And I think it is. The thing is, having this event is so much better than having this the 1 drop. But losing an Aokiji so early really sucks. But we put it to top. We do grab Kaido, which is nice. But yeah, this is the matchup where you need to set Kuzan as fast as possible because they are just going to spam intensity. That kind of blows. We are going to take though because next time we're going to get far fewer cards out of hand. We swing 6 because they're going to take. As much as I want to set up, like as much as I want to search here because I want to find a Jack. Actually, maybe that's what I should have done. Because then I find the Jack, and then there's a chance, I draw into what I need. There's the Yasuo, and then, we just pitch the Zoo. Do we talk about Jack? We do not. Shocking. So now we are going to. We're going to play Congo. Definitely. That leaves us with 3 dollars. So we can go 7 at lead. Queen. And then Kamazo. That's assuming I didn't back away the Kamazo. I think I did massively misplay here by not doing the search. But we'll go 6 because this is a misplay because he's a 6K leader. Okay, this is going to be a game that doesn't make it to air. I would have found it anyway, so that's always reassuring. But yeah, I have a big fear this is just gonna get put away. We have 8 on, which isn't like the end of the world. 7 reasonably take. It also means he could just drop 5 ace, which is an insane problem for his deck to get over. It's why combos are really important, because he can kind of double pop. We are forced to count around this, so we'll pitch 1 and we'll pitch 2. It's just rude, which is completely fine. We don't really have too many intentions of swinging. Putting Yasuo to life, I think, is just the play here, especially when you draw the best card to pitch. Obviously, no trigger there. We get arrested. We then draw a card, and we pass. Shanks is a weird one where you kind of have to swing into their life because they will just pressure you, and you will lose that way. Okay, could just be a back one. Pretty clean. That's completely fine. We can obviously just drop Kaido next turn to remove it. We pitch the Spiru. We draw well, okay, brain. We draw the Queen. We are going to Kaido. We're going to trigger the effect. We're going to draw a card. We find Kuzan, which too little today, but we do find it. We're gonna pitch the Age to remove the back one. I'm gonna swing 6 here because I reasonably expect them to take. Yeah. Once again, because they run like 3 Dragon, 4 Rush Shanks, and potentially a Goldie Rush, that's 8 Rush deck. And Rush is what King does not deal with at all. Big Mom is huge, but it is only so much, This is also really good for us, because it means our Kuzan is now going to do a lot of damage next time. We can just remove the Rayleigh. We can then pop the Rue, but the only thing with popping the Rue is that we obviously lose the Kamazo in the exchange, which really sucks. So I may just leave it up, potentially, we'll see. We're also scared of Shanks. Not a lot of us are running it, but obviously my budget version was. Check out the video. Shameless plug. A swinging of the Rue. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. That's fine. I'm gonna see. Okay, we're gonna see. That's pretty good for us. That's really good for us actually, because we can pitch the okay, because he's probably gonna swing 7. Yeah. Cool. That's good value. I know we don't like taking the life, but like reasonably we could have won this power zone. So we are now going to. I mean, Thomas is going to trade this out anyway. I'm going to swing. No, because if I swing face of it, it doesn't do anything. If I swing face of it, no, because it will get a card out of hand, then it can just be brushed into. But it's going to die once again because of the room effect. Yeah. Alright, well, let's swing King first. No, once again, misplay, because I can just set him, this doesn't. Yeah, that was a bit silly of me. Alright, draw a card. I can just choose not to pop the root, to be fair. But, it is a really frustrating body, and I've drawn the Jack, which is really important. So we lose the cover zone, pom-pom. I think I get reasonably beat 9 here. Because next up we have the Jack. And plus, if he does have Rush Shanks, he's going to swing into the Kaido, which does protect my life. And I have a 1k to get out. Actually, reasonably on my 2k, just so I have the Queen blocker. Because we've already picked 1, I think. Yeah, we picked 1, so we got 2 more on the deck. We didn't hit any of our searches, so it should be relatively close, but we will see. It is definitely a difficult matchup. So yeah, reasonably we are going to see it. I'm really tempted to pitch 2 here, just so I can keep the blocker in hand. Because I'm convinced he's just going to beat right into this, which is exactly what we wanted to do. Yep. Yeah, nice. Wicked. Insane read. The only thing is we're not going to draw a card this turn, which really does suck, but that's kind of just life. We draw. We're going to pitch the Queen now. to KO this because we can search for Big Mom. We don't find it. We actually do, ironically, just find the Queen again, which we will take pretty happily. We're gonna stack 7 to Teeth. Thing is, I can protect the Kuzan, so there's a part of me that wants to swing just to get some, get some cards out of hand. So yeah, there's my counter out. If I go 10, a 12k swing is pretty detrimental. Well, no, it's not 12. It's, well, yeah, so I'd then be 9, so I need 2 2ks, and then he can just swing life, and then I'm out of cards in hand. Whereas, no, we go face. Because I can counter out, because then next turn I can just jack, and then regardless. And then he's in a really weird spot where I can just swing 9, 9, 11, and reasonably just get all the cards out of his hand. But I'm a bit annoyed with Swift on Big Mom, because that would have been lovely, because then I could have comfortably not swung with the Kuzan. That's interesting. So we can see Rayleigh. Rayleigh doesn't do anything. Oh, yikes. Okay, so good thing I swung a bit, actually. Could just go back on. Yep, seems reasonable. Can't really complain. You've served your purpose. We are going to pitch 2 here, because we want to start with the blocker next turn. Yep, cool. So this is gonna live, I think, which kind of sucks, but it's kind of just where we're at. So we're gonna trigger you. We are going to pitch. We're gonna pitch Jack. I think we could just swing. We could just swing 9 and 9. I'm not like upset at doing that. Let's draw a card, see what we get. We do finally rip the mum, which is nice. Yeah, I think 9 and 9 makes sense. I know they've got the Utah, but like reasonably. Oh, because then they could. Yeah, but then if they rush Shanks, that's 5. Yeah, so we can still counter out. So we're gonna go 9. We've got the blocker as well, which is something they do have to be concerned about. He debuffs. Oh, okay, so he's protecting the final life pretty aggressively, which makes perfect sense. We do swing 9. And we see what happens. But we don't have fantastic counter. We have a heal, which is nice. But I think between the blocker and next time just being able to swing pretty large, we should be fine. Interesting. So he probably has Nugate. No has Rayleigh, which is pretty detrimental here. Actually, we probably lose Jack. Yikes. But on the bright side, we can tidal away the backman. So we set up a big body next turn. I'm going to take 7 regardless, so we'll take. I really want to bomb here, to be honest, but I don't think we reasonably can, so we are going to pitch and just count around. Because I think this one's just got to go. Yeah, especially with a draw like that. I could just play the slow game and just heal 1 instead and let the veteran live, but because it's more cards in hand. But I kind of don't expect anything to live here. I also don't expect this one to go through, frankly. There's 7. We are going to. We're going to play Tido. Especially because Tido gets us a draw, so if we hit like on a okay. So we're going to make you pitch, gain arrested, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. Okay, so finds Dragon, which is really, really, really bad. So if I take, oh, this is really bad. Okay, so I take because I need to find a 2k, and fortunately I do. So we 2k out of this. I need to find another 2k. Oh, you know, we just never did have it. Never did have it, chat. Can't around. And now reasonably I should just have game because I know he has a 1k. He's 3 cards in hand, even if they're all 2ks, and that's game 2, baby. Yeah, all right. Fuck yeah, let's get it. Okay, I got really lucky with life, obviously, finding the final 2ks, but that's why you play 14 because it does matter. It really does matter. Had I healed, I would have healed a Jack, so I'm pretty happy with my decision to just get rid of the Beckerman. Yeah, wow, really good game. Next game was against Purple Black Luffy. We are playing the superior Black leader, obviously. This is a relatively fine matchup. They ramp up some speed as us, but the biggest thing they play is a warrior. I think we're going to keep. We're going second. We have Jack, so we can worst case should hit Jack. anyway. But we, oh yeah. See, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. We do not need 3 jacks on him. There's this horror. We're not too surprised. 7 at lead. We are gonna just take. We're hoping for an Onigashima, and hey, if you don't ask, you don't get. We'll swing 6. Reasonably age of take. Best case, gets card out of hand. Yeah, we go on Onigashima. Yeah, already we're in an awful spot. This is devious work. I am gonna activate Jack. Because reasonably they don't play anything too crazy here. We are gonna definitely pitch. Yeah, 100%. We are then gonna pitch again. Pitch 5 Sanji, awesome. We love that. We are gonna swing 5 to you. Definitely gets card at hand. Yep. We then Jack. We trigger Jack effect. We hit Kuzan. Nice. Oh, of course it's all +1. I'm stupid. We'll see what happens. I'm not incredibly hopeful. Oh, he actually has an insane Moria turn already. That's really wild stuff. Yeah, he's got the Moria. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, so actually, that's one less problem to deal with. That is one less problem to deal with. He's already got the Moria. Fucking hell. That's fine. We can remove the Moria. We can remove we can. Oh, no, we can't because he's gonna attack. We can remove the Frankie. And we have to -2 instead of drawing, but we can remove the Moria, who is the most important piece to remove. So we're gonna go 5 at life because I do not expect him to take. Cool. We're then going to trigger King's effect, giving you -2. We're then going to draw. We're going to pitch. We're going to pop. Cool. It's fine. You only need to risk stage again turn if you've used Big Mom, or like Queen Blocker. But for a purple deck, we actually have shockingly few -minus effects. I know like a lot of builds are experimenting with like Kaido Linman or just like started Kaido, but reasonably we just realized Kuzan is just absolutely absurd, and is a card that should really exist. We're gonna pick Kuzu. It could just be a second Warrior play, wouldn't surprise me. Shock horror. On the bright side, we've got the Kaido now, and we can also swing into the Sanji. We are going to take this 8 though, which is terrifying. Best case is a Big Mom. If we hit Big Mom, we are absolutely laughing here. That's really kind of. Why would you do that? You now don't have the time to talk. I'm going to take. Okay, so it's not a good enough. That's pretty good. We're going to pitch it. Big Mom? Oh my god, that's not bad. What you want to hit? So Jack can pop this, which is nice. Which seems like a good place to start. Especially because I can swing into you instead. My only issue is Frankie blocker. So let's swing. They also don't have anything up for thingy, so if I'm sorry, I'm going through the math in my head. I don't think it really works out. So I can jack this away. If I swing into the Sanji, he's going to block. Okay, so if I swing into the Sanji, he's going to block, and I'm going to have to remove it regardless, right? That's the logic. The only thing you can do here is like Sangod, or like Watch Luffy, and yeah, we're not in a great spot. Cool. Yeah, cool. Alright, completely. Let's draw one trash one. Oh, okay. We're gonna search because we search and find big one. We're laughing. Heaven forbid we ever find a useful card in this deck. I actually, is it not unreasonable to just want to set up Queen now? Because like I feel like Kaido, yeah, we're gonna Queen. Pitch. Yep, no shit. We're gonna draw 1 card. Finding a second Queen, obviously not very useful now. And then we're just gonna push into the roll. I know they still have some pretty decent swings, but yeah, we just want to find Big Mom is also just key to every matchup. Once again, like just relieving so much pressure. If I find it there, then I don't have to deal with this. I could have not dealt with it based on the Kaido, and then he would have an empty board and one less card in hand. But then I would have had one less card in hand, and I wouldn't have filled at all. But yeah, a pretty sucky spot to be in. He's not going to push the game. He also doesn't have any rush, which is super nice for us. Sanji rush is also a huge problem. Sanji rush basically would have won him the game on the spot there. Swings 8. reasonably, I'm just gonna block. I'm just gonna get out of the way. If you swing 9, then you swing 9, and there's not much I can do about that. Awesome. I'm a prophet. Once again, no big mom. Yeah, this is what the matchup is. I mean, I feel like reasonably we still just try and block her up, but it could be too late for us. We'll drop the commas though. We'll draw. We'll pop. We'll swing. You put 5 at life. We're gonna actually Jack's effect, to be honest, to pop this, and then we'll smack 11. On the bright side, and there is a bright side here, I can counter out. I can absolutely counter out of anything that he plays. I have 10k counter. If he swings 15, I block. If he sponges, I can reasonably counter out both swings, I think. Oh no, because it's a 9 and it's a 7 on 9, right? 7, yeah, 4 on 9, okay. But if 7, so yeah, I can still counter out. And then because he's just gonna go for face, right? That, however, that's a big problem. That is one of the I don't think I can live this, to be honest. Oh no, I do by 1. Wow, that is very fortunate. He didn't even think up for giant either, so we just push. We go 9, 9, yeah, 9, yeah, 9, 9, 10. We're dead if we don't, so we kind of just have to push and pray. Him not having giant's pretty good. Cool. We then go. Well, that's like a 9. Seems reasonable. Yeah. We then go 9, and then we go 11, and we basically just pray he doesn't have a shit out of 2Ks. And he doesn't. Look at that. Why didn't you play? You just play this and wins you the game like 10 times over. And you get the sign. Oh, well, okay, well, that matters. Wait. Oh, because I'm on 5 cost. Yeah. But even Toy Soldier Top Knot, that then would have been an 11k. I could have counted out, but yeah. Not leaving anything up for Giant was. He got really overzealous there. Sanji would have also left himself up for Giant, so he would have been able to survive. So that was a really stupid play on his part. Yeah, wow. That was a shockingly fine game considering no big mom to help stabilize. Teach. Cool. We keep because we have search for Jack and we find Kaido, which is even better. We have search for stuff, you know. It really is as cool. Cool. The doc's a bit annoying, but I'm gonna go. Once again, we are just going to starve an insane amount. Cool. It's Jack for that. Or just be Jesus already, which is never. It's never ideal. Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, he has no stage, which is, you know. I understand it's slim picking, but we find Jack, but obviously it's kind. I don't say it's late, but at the very least we have it. So now we have Ice Age Jack, so we can remove Teach when we need to, which is pretty huge. I guess I could Jack, because it just gets Onigashima out of the way. Yeah, I'm gonna smack 7. I know I said full staff, but whatever. Whatever. Go my scarab. Purely because if we find Kuzan here, then we're pretty happy. Because like we're just gonna. Did you wait? Oh, okay. Well, let's wait. What? Wait. You didn't. Huh? But you didn't pick anything. You had nothing in trash. No, you picked strong. Huh? Oh, I'm so confused. Okay, maybe I just wasn't paying. Well, I evidently wasn't paying attention, but I now have a shitty forecast set up. big plans. But it's really interesting though, because Shanks is like the opposite. Shanks is just like, I'm going to play as many ones as possible and just smack you in the teeth. Which is always quite interesting. George Jesus again. I hate this card. I think most people do. I think a lot of people would be happy to see it go in the event there is a ban, because obviously Teach is still the best deck in East. I mean, reasonably we just take. We don't really have a choice. Hey, nice. Okay, cool. That's good. Well, it's fine. It's such a weird one, because like it's good, but it's also not. It's good to set it up so early because he just can't deal with it, but it also doesn't deal with Jesus. But then he can't swing with Jesus. It's like the point. So I'm assuming that's no one plays. Okay, so that's fine. Drops a step in Jesus. I mean, oh, I didn't get to ramp. Oh, why is everyone so mean to me? No. Right, we ramp it. Like, reasonably wants getting love to drop this, but we are just going to Kaido because just alleviates pressure. Gets card out of hand as well. So, that's the thing you have to realize. It's cards out of hand. And against each, that's huge. Next turn, reasonably I can still drop Kuzan. Because if I drop Kuzan, he can then drop each, negate it, and then I can jack Ice Age full combo. Which is fine. But that's why you still play Ice Age. Like, I don't think you can... I think purely because of Teach, you cannot reasonably cut Ice Age when it is such a clean answer to it. Especially because, Ice Age leader effect Kamazo, well, Kamazo leader effect, I guess. Yeah. That removes it. It matters. It really does matter. Gets an Ice Age, which is pretty fucking good for us. We draw a card, and it's a 2K. Nice. We're relatively healthy, which is nice. Relatively. Ideally, of course, we draw 3 Kaidos in this matchup, because forcing them to trash... It's the only matchup where forcing them to trash is, like, genuinely useful. Because, like, against Manel, they have, like, 15 cards in hand anyway, so, like, well, what's one, But in this matchup, when they're already playing on, like, 1 or 2 cards in hand, but I think recently I stopped taking the first life against Teach, because 1 extra card in hand is annoying, but what's more annoying is not being able to just, like, finish the game, But we'll see. So, goes for search. I don't even know what he's looking for. There's nothing that you feasibly need at this point. But it's also good because, like, this is my second big body, is also super important. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. I'm also not worried about you, weirdly. I kind of just don't want to remove it at all because there's kind of like to remove anything, he's got to put like a bottleload of cards. So we 2K, reasonably we take if he swings, and we just swing 9 into it. I'm pretty happy to do so. I think that's why he's not swinging with it. Teach players are, I was gonna say they're smart, but that's yeah. I mean that's a play you can do. They don't stop you from doing that. Reasonably we grab Queen. Queen is actually really useful late game into this deck. I think annoyingly, I do actually have to burn a swing into the top cube. No, I don't, because he's never going to get $7 to it again. Setting up Jack means he can get negated, so we're just gonna Kuzan. And we are then going to leader effect pass. Second Ice Age is honestly the nuts. That's really good. Once again, starving is still important here, because like the point being is that if you swing, so he draws 1, right? He pitches 1 for his leader effect, and then he plays 1 from hand. So he's -1 every single turn. But if you spend life, he stays even. Cool. Okay, this is exactly what we wanted. He negates Kuzan. Completely fine. We counter on the 5 with a 1. I guess my only fear is he could swing this now, but he doesn't still, which is really good for us. So now we Jack, we Ice Age, we leader ability, and then we trigger Jack effect. I kind of want to keep you. I'm going to pick the Queen purely because it's just another way of dealing with things. I think now I can reasonably just like go. No, Jesus is so scary, but also yeah, I need to like actual pressure. Next time I can remove the replays. So we're gonna go 5-5-9. It's weird, but because like I know I'm not going to be using all plays regardless now, I don't mind giving him cards. And he counts up this 100%. He doesn't. Wow. Okay, so he's winning 6-1, which is a huge mistake on his part. Draws teach, but once again, we don't care. But the thing is, if he negates attack, he is going to. He's still susceptible to Kuzan. And if he negates Kuzan, I have the rest. But I still have Jack's effect. There is no real world where like he's comfortable with. Of course, reasonably, he could just go, 7, 8, 8 to lead, but it's not very smart. But that's why I said not worry about you, because once again, he's going to play teach. Has a 1, right? Good to know. Everything else is unknown, but we know he has a 1k, he has a teach. Pitches the 1k that he just drew, so awesome. So I don't got plays. Once again, I don't know why he's pitching all of these cards in hand when he knows I'm not using all plays. And then tends to teach. I think recently you negate the Kuzan because you still have an 8 swing into this. I don't think you hate. Cool. Are you actually going to swing with the Jesus now? Yeah, cool. So we pitch. And we're going to play the second jack. 100%. Yes, we do. Because then I can still swing with this one to face. And that's pretty strong. So we're going to play jack. We are going to ice age. We are going to leader effect. -2. We are then going to rest it on. Remove the body. And he scoops, which is fair. Yeah. So at that point, we then go, we go 7 at lead, we go 8 at lead, which he still got an hour of, 9 at lead, 10 at lead. And then that's the game. So awesome. Let's wrap up. So I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This deck is there is a reason why it was the second worst performing leader in OPTCG Sim last year. Right below Hannibal, I believe, who lost I think had like a 30% win rate. I think we had like 34 or something high. If I can find the graphic, it will be on screen. But it was quite an old post now. But also, I think come EVO2, when Enel is rocking everyone, I think this deck might actually have a place. It really does do well into Enel. I didn't sadly get to play against him today. Speaking of, obviously, I'm going to show my. This is the deck list I played, but I'll show a nice image on screen. Of my lovely list that I played in person. My matchups were round 1. I had to buy. Sadly, it kind of happens. I then played against Teach, which I won pretty convincingly. He just didn't know when to negate my own plays, so I ended up actually being able to Big Mom one of his Jesus, which was just insane tempo swing. Big Mom actually resolving is so rare into that deck. And then from there, it was just Jack Kaido, no cards in hand, standard teacher fair. And then played against Purple Black Luffy, which was a really long game. That one went to overtime, actually. I won on turn 2 of overtime. Thank God. It was a really, really, really close game because I was able to like put Moria into their life, which was nice. Once again, this is the story I was saying earlier, where they had 2 non-counter on life, but the persistence of that deck is terrifying, and Gum Gum Giant is obviously a card that you constantly have to be aware of. And then the final matchup was an L, which was once again to the wire. I had 0 life. They had 0 cards in hand. They top decked the 10 drop ace. And then, I have to do 2 swings, so I have 2 life at this point, which was fine. My board was completely set up. They couldn't remove anything, which was great. Super nice. And then, yeah, fortunately, no triggers for, you're the one who should disappear, which is always exactly what you want, because my god, that card is absolutely infuriating. First trigger was a opponent, which was actually quite scary, but then from that point, they obviously have to discard the card they drew from life to heal 1. And then from that point, you're kind of fine. When you've got so many swings and 0 cards in hand, you can just swing 5 pretty comfortably. But yeah, so if you want a deck which is pure control, and you don't want to spend so much money on Brooks, this is an option. You will see local level success with it. I will say I'm really glad that I dodged Doffy. If you play against any aggro, I mean any aggro, Bello Betty, Doflamingo, Purple Luffy, you will get absolutely trounced, and there's nothing you can do. You basically, I've when I was recording my previous video, I nearly won against two Dofies, which was really nice. One of which was a sim bug. I couldn't play my character because it said, "Oh, you need to replace one," and I just wouldn't. I was really pissed off about that again. And then the other one was also close, but it just came down to the wire, and they never got it. But this card is, it's sadly, it kind of underperformed today, I think, in this game, in this video, which is always a shame. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.